Wait for it. We are now receiving your content. We are still receiving your content. You are now live. Alright. Well, let's share this out to Russians. Come on. There we go. Share this out to the birds. And then last but not least, share it out to the Book of Faces. I don't expect to get very many viewers on this. This is just me trying something different, something new. Like, why not? Let's see how it goes. Anyways, god damn, we had a lot to talk about. A lot going on in the football world. God damn, I think my lips keeps getting worse because I keep biting it. Bit myself on the lip. Blood everywhere. And I keep messing with it so it won't fucking heal. It's pissing me off. Because, you know, it's not my fault that it won't heal. Oh, that's a shit-tacular game. Oh, that's going to be a great game. Ooh, that should be a good game. Looking at the NFL app and all that, so I can have the games up and ready. Anyways. Oh, now I have one watching. Just gotta say, welcome to James DeLesser's Express Lane, where we get you out as fast as possible, bringing you the NFL Power Rankings for Week 8, plus game discussion and memes. I would normally do like the memes of the week as their own separate video with music attached to them, but they don't get very many views. Then again, my Power Rankings don't get very many views. It's just like the amount of effort I put into them to get 0 views or 30 views, like, alright, screw it. Not gonna keep doing that. It was a nice experiment, nice to see, maybe people would like them or not. People like memes and all that, so I tried it. Didn't work. Oh well. Next. Fucking Blake Bortles. It's just this dumbass. He had every they gave him a huge shot. They gave him a chance. And then he fucked it up. Like, he just could not do anything with it. A little bigger. Yeah, they gave him a shot. Like, hey, we're going to give you all this fucking money. And he did nothing with it. He just sucked. Completely. The Jaguars went from, we're going to go to the playoffs to, we might make it to 500. Please let us make it to 500. Come on, Cody Kessler. You got to be better than Blake Bortles. They could have traded during the offseason. They could have gotten a free agent like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins said he wasn't going to go to the Jets because without me there, they go 4-12. With me there, they go 8-8. Like, I pick them up an extra 4 wins. Not good enough. If the Jags said, hey, we want to give you a bunch of money to play with us, he might have gone to them because they make it to the playoffs without him. With him on the team, AFC Championship game. Maybe win it this time. But instead, he went to the Vikings, who NFC Championship game without him. They've had a bit of a slow start this year, I'll admit, but they're picking things back up. Anyways, unfortunately for either of these teams, they're not number one. Number one is, the Rams. The Rams come out and crush their opponent. Oh, God, those poor 49ers. Where have we heard this story before? Still going strong, but have the Packers, the Saints, and the Chiefs in the next 4 weeks. They have a game against the Seahawks, but Seahawks aren't going to be a challenge. But the Packers, the Saints, and the Chiefs, those are going to be huge tests, especially the Chiefs. It's in Mexico City, for crying out loud. The Packers will probably lose when Aaron Rodgers spends more time on his back than on his feet, getting sacked all the time. No O-line. What do you expect? The Saints just upgraded at corner with a trade. Although some people say, well, there's a reason why the Giants traded him. He wasn't that much of an upgrade. I love just all the trolling people did for their sports articles. Giants trade Eli. What? And then you click on the link. Apple. It probably won't be enough, though. But the Chiefs, 4 weeks away in Mexico City, it could be a 50-plus score on both sides. That could just be a day that both offenses go out there and just 6 touchdowns in the air, 2 on the ground, 1 on defense. For both teams, easily. Speaking of the Chiefs, they're back at number 2. They had a field day with the Bungles. They did whatever they wanted, when they wanted, how they wanted. Do you want to score through the air? Sure. Do you want to score on the ground? Sure. Want to use a trick play? Sure. They did what they wanted. It's just... The Bungles had no answer to anything that they did. The Bungles could do absolutely nothing to stop them. It was just horrific. Just, what? The Chiefs came out and just... Oh my God. It was brutal. It's like, come on, just stop the game, refs. It's over. Just put them down already. The Chiefs, yes, they lost to the Patriots. Patriots are a hell of a good team. It's not like they lost to the Jets or the Browns. They lost to the Patriots. Patriots always start slow. Then they gather up speed. And they just steam ahead. Just destroying everyone in the path. Oh, hey. Speaking of the Patriots, number 3, the Patriots. They face off against a great defense and a young offense, and but for 1 yard. 1 yard. Missed going to overtime. If it had been that close, if the defense hadn't given up so many points, I don't think I would have had them fall this far. But their defense gave up 31 points. I think it was 31. They gave up a ton of points to the Bears. Again, a nice, young, productive offense. A lot of talent on there. But your defense just gotta stop them. Poor Bears. Man, the Patriots had put the game way easier, had more of a Chiefs or Rams day. They would have stayed at number 2, but because they were just 1 yard away from going to overtime, fell to 3. Now, number 4. The team the Vikings face next week, the Saints. At 5-1, they came off a bye week. Young, healthy. Well, alright, they lost Ted Ginn, I think, Jr. But everyone else got that extra week off, got the bumps and bruises out of them. They went out there, they put up the points, they won by a point against the Ravens. Ravens typically have a top 5 defense. So for them to go out there and get 24 points against the top 5 defense, not bad. And upgrading at cornerback with Eli Apple might help them, instead of winning by a point against a team like that, maybe they win by a touchdown or 2. Have to wait and see how having Eli Apple out there helps them. Especially, like, why did you have to do this trade right before you faced the Vikings? Why couldn't you have done this after the Vikings? Because any upgrade in the passing defense is going to hurt the Vikings. But, Everson Griffin came back to team activities and all that. So, who knows? We might be able to actually get some pressure on their quarterback. Just saying, if you can get pressure on the quarterback, he might make a mistake or 2. Something the Vikings have just been unable to do without Everson Griffin out there. Next, number 5, not the Vikings, the Chargers. If it weren't for the Chiefs, they'd be running away with the West. But they have the Chiefs. And it's the Chargers. They had Damian Thompson, Phillip Rivers, and won nothing. Just nothing. No rings to show for it. Didn't even make it to a Super Bowl. It's just, the Chargers have had a great quarterback for years and done absolutely nothing with him. He puts up yards. He puts up touchdowns. He tries to get the win, and then it just, nope. The fact that they probably had to travel farther than any other team in the league and the jet lag they'd be facing, they went out there and they won by a point because the Titans tried to go for it at the end, but they came up short. Titans make that 2-point conversion. They win the game. They go for the extra point. They tie it up. They go to overtime. Who knows? The Chargers could be 4-3, which is why it's like, oh, do I put the Chargers here? Again, a 2-point conversion gets completed. They're 4-3. Extra point gets made. They go to overtime. They lose 4-3. But they went out there, the game that they had, the team that they had, and they won it. So, keep them here. Next, Dun, 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 Vikings! Yeah, they beat the Cardinals and the Jets. May not seem like much, but Kirk Cousins threw against Patrick Peterson and won when they faced against the Cardinals. The Jets had a good run defense, and yet the Vikings beat it on the ground for most of the day. Now again, they have the Saints, a team they beat by one play, one missed tackle. Will it be as exciting as last year? I sure as hell hope not. Hope it is a 42-3 by halftime. The Vikings is rolling through them. But I doubt it. It's not going to happen like that, unfortunately. And again, we get Everson Griffin coming back, hopefully in time for the game. Get some pressure put on Drew Brees. Maybe he makes that pass half a second too soon. Gets intercepted. Stops the drive at the 30-yard line. Vikings have a short field. And hey, they get an easy touchdown. That one easy touchdown could be the difference between winning and losing the game. After all, again, last year came down to one missed tackle. The guy got there 1 second too soon. If he had been there a second later, he could have gotten the tackle, stuffed him in bounds, win the game. Although the Vikings maybe could have had enough time to get there for the field goal. No, spike the ball, get the field goal. Maybe. Maybe. Again, it's like, oh, people gave him so much shit. It's like, he missed it by a second. If he had been there a second later, he could have gotten the tackle. But if he had hit him right then and there, it would have been either pass interference or a defenseless receiver. Ball would have moved into field goal range, kicked the field goal. That was just a heads-up play by the defensive player going, oh, if I hit him, that's a penalty. Like, I'm going to not hit him and hope that someone else stops him. Didn't work out for him, unfortunately. Now, who do we go with? I think we'll go with the Panthers. Yeah, they were down 17-0 for 45 minutes of the game. But with 3 TDs, they get the win. Doesn't matter what the score is for the first 59 minutes and 59 seconds, only what it is at 60 minutes flat. Panthers played that game. Eagles didn't. I think the Eagles let up. Like, oh yeah, we got this 17-0. We can let off the gas. We can pull back. Maybe pull this starter out, pull that starter out. Let's wait for the next game. And then, oh, shit, we forgot to finish this game before we started playing next game. Oops. Next. 4-2. Oh, no. Oh. No, actually, I think I'll move the Steelers. Steelers were on a bye week, but they're getting Le'Veon Bell back. With a dynamic player like that on the field, that offense will only get better. Slow start, but much like the Patriots, they tend to have a slow start and then they pick it up. Alright, so now, 4-2, the Redskins. ATS pick. I don't know what ATS means. I don't know what ATS means, so I'll be discussing games against the spread. I don't know what any of the spreads are. And for me, I hate the whole spread thing of my team won. Yeah, but they only won by 22 points instead of 27, so it doesn't count. What do you mean it doesn't count? They won. Yeah, but they only won by 22 points, not 27. So the other team gets to win? Well, no, that other team still lose, but your team didn't win. What the fuck do you mean my team didn't win? They beat them by 22 points. But it wasn't 27 points. Therefore, it doesn't count as a win for them. So it counts as a loss for the other team, but it doesn't count as a win for you. Like, could you imagine that that's how they decided games? Like, congratulations, you won the Super Bowl, but you didn't beat the point spread, so Lombardi Trophy goes to the other team. I just hate the point spread that much because it makes no... I get for betting, like gambling, it makes sense. I guess it's just... I want to know who wins or loses. I want to bet on who wins or loses. But when you go in for the spread, it's like... The Patriots never beat the spread. So if we went by beating the spread, they'd be 0-7 with Tom Brady in the Super Bowl instead of 5-2 because... Yeah, you scored the most points, but you didn't score enough. So congratulations to the other team. You get the trophy. I hate that. Maybe... I guess I always get on my phone and look it up, I guess. Although I hate the fucking spread. I just hate the spread that much. It's like, oh, are you going to give me the spread? No! You're a Saints fan, I'm a Vikings fan. Are you going to bet on your team winning or losing? Well, what about the spread? I don't care about the fucking spread. You obviously have no confidence in your team winning. Yeah, 3 years. They've been there 7 times. Means they missed it 4 years. I just fucking hate the spread. Anyways, alright, I've gone off a tangent. 4-2, the Redskins. They beat the Cowboys. A Cowboys team that just had a 40-7 game against the Jags defense. Now, for a team that was bouncing back last week for my list of bouncing back teams, they've now made it to the power rankings. The Texans. Another week for Watson to get better. Another week of him winning. Starting slow while getting his rhythm back. Put them down a couple games. But now they're more than bounced back. They're in the hunt for the playoffs. And with the Jags just shitting the bed, the Colts, they're out of it. The Titans, if they had beaten the Chargers, they'd be solid first in that division, but they lost. You want spread by some butter. Thank you. Yeah, their defense has been what won them games. And it's like, Blake Bortles, just don't lose us the game. And then Blake Bortles loses them the game. That's just... the Texans, they have a very good shot as long as there aren't any major injuries. They have a very good shot of winning that division. Or if the Jags don't make a trade for a quarterback, so they actually have someone out there who can not lose the game. The Texans can run away with this. They can easily finish 12-4. Maybe even they already have 3 losses, so but they might be able to finish 13-3. Deshaun Watson just last year he was averaging what 5 touchdowns a game before he got hurt. He's not doing so well this year. That's because he's picking it up. He's knocking off the rust. He's getting better with every game. Now, teams that are still on the bouncing back list, the Falcons. They win, and much like the year they went to the Super Bowl, they weren't monsters in the beginning. Heck, they weren't even monsters at the end. They didn't become a playoff team until they made it to the playoffs. Then they learned how to play and got to the Super Bowl. Their defense, I feel, is more suspect than the quarterback. Oh, shit! Hello. You, get back here. Technical difficulties. Their defense, because of age and how injury-prone some of those guys are, that's what I'd be worried about with the Texans this year. But Deshaun Watson, again, last year, was averaging, what, 5 touchdowns a game? Oh, there's only 4.8. All right, fine, 4.8 touchdowns a game, whatever. He was averaging a ton of touchdowns. Then he got hurt. Who knows? If he didn't get hurt, he could have been 5 touchdowns a game. Hi, Gooba. You're the Panthers, right? I've already discussed the Panthers. Still can't believe they were down 17-0, and then they came back with 3 touchdowns to win it. Hell of a game. If you're a Panthers fan, I'm sure a lot of Panthers fans turned off the game. He has Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu. 2 great wide receivers to catch the ball. And yet, like, they've not been in an NFC Championship game more than they should have been with a great wide receiver duo core like that. It's kind of like the Packers. The Packers have had top 5 quarterbacks for over 20 years between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and they have 2 Super Bowl rings to show for it. The fucking Bears went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman at quarterback. Rex Grossman played in a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre get them 2 rings. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, 2 of some of the best quarterbacks to play in the past 20 years, have 2 rings between them. While Rex Grossman played in a Super Bowl. I don't know if all of them are head cases, but Matt Ryan, with like the team that he's had around him, they should have had at least a few more NFC Championship games, if not Super Bowl appearances. And yet they don't. Teams that can't win a playoff game, let alone make it to the Super Bowl. But have a chance that they can still come back and at least make it to the playoffs this year. The Lions. At 3-3, they're not out of the running. They could still technically win the North. One week they beat the Patriots and the next they lose to the Jets. But they may be like a lot of teams this year and just had a slow start. They already beat the Packers. With the offense finally getting a running back that gets more than 100 yards a game, it makes defenses worry about the run and pass from the Lions. About to say Ryan. Matt Ryan probably just isn't that good, and they gave him too much money. Another case of, well, you had a good year. Here's a ton of money. Oh, sorry, O-line. We have no money for you. Hey, our quarterback keeps getting hit because we have no O-line to protect him. I think the Bears could win it for the North just because they have a young, talented offense. With Khalil Mack, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks. When your opponent's quarterback is having to throw the ball step too soon, that causes mistakes. And I just want the Vikings to win it because obviously I'm a Vikings fan. And if we could get to the NFC Championship game with Case Keenum, Kirk Cousins should get him over the hump and get them to the Super Bowl so we can lose to the Patriots. Yeah, the Lions, they beat the Patriots, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Packers, but then they lose to just terrible teams. Again, it could be a case of them getting a slow start like the Patriots had. But with that running back that they finally have a running game, as long as he doesn't get hurt, defense can just go, 3 guys on the line, everyone in the field. Look at that, he's throwing the ball again, because that's all the Lions do. Now it's like, well, we might actually have to put 5, maybe even 6 guys in the box because they can actually run the ball now. Scary as it seems to think of a Lions team that can run the ball. Now time for the RIP section. Jaguars playoff hopes. If Blake Bortles continues to be, well, Blake Bortles, they will keep losing. They never should have re-signed him, especially to the money they signed him to. They signed him to way too much money. The Bills were on the RIP last week. So it's like, all right, well, I need something new for the RIP section because they were on the RIP last week. So this time it is the Jaguars playoffs hopes. Again, they never should have re-signed him when there's so many free agents and trades they could have made. They could have lured Kirk Cousins in, or maybe traded for Eli Manning. Tom Coughlin knows how to get him to play. They could have traded for Alex Smith like the Redskins did. They could have done so much during the offseason. Instead, they dumped money on a guy who plays worse than a rookie. They benched him for Cody Kessler for crying out loud. Nathan Peterman could have done a better job than Blake Bortles for crying out loud. And the poor Bills, like, they finally made it to the playoffs for the first time in the 21st century last year. Then they traded away Tyrod Taylor. Then they get a rookie who gets hurt. Then we have Nathan. He throws more pick sixes than Colin Kaepernick. Hey, we got Derek Anderson. There's a reason why he hasn't started a game in 2 years. Like the Bills, if they didn't have bad luck, they'd have no luck at all. Like, holy shit, did they have bad luck? Oh, let's see. What am I hooked on? That. Terrible. So, upcoming games. Dolphins, Texans. The Dolphins have been surprising. Like, they're 3-0, and now they're 4-3. Because he hasn't played in 3 years. And he never will. He doesn't have the experience or the skill set of a backup quarterback. It's like some people go, well, this backup quarterback is way worse than Colin Kaepernick. Well, yeah, but that backup quarterback is there to teach the guy how to throw out of the pocket. Colin Kaepernick doesn't throw out of the pocket. He goes, look, my wide receiver is wide open. I'm going to run that way for 2 yards. So no coach wants him to be the backup to teach the rookie or teach the sophomore how to play football. Yeah, you can't throw a pick if you don't throw the pass. Like Colin Kaepernick's biggest issue is He doesn't have the skill set for a backup quarterback. Because you get these guys like, yeah, I'm 37 years old. I haven't started a game in 4 years. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell him, like, hey, I was watching the game footage and I noticed you planted your foot. It twists a little bit. Maybe if you put your foot down like that instead of twisting it once you already plant it, you might get an extra oomph to the ball. You would have made that throw better. Like, that's what a lot of these backup quarterbacks are there for, is to teach the younger guys, no, the rookies, sophomores, whatever, like, oh yeah, plant your foot better like this, you'll get the extra oomph. Or, I notice you were staring down that wide receiver. Don't do that. Obviously, he tells the defense you're going to throw to that guy. Instead, make sure you scan your head a little bit. Like, you know who you're going to throw the ball to, but make sure you scan your head to throw the defense off so they don't know who you're throwing the ball to. Colin Kaepernick can't do that. Again, that guy's wide open. I'm going to run it for 2 yards. And of course, he wants starter money. He doesn't want backup money. He wants starter. He wants $22 million a year. No one's going to pay a backup that much money. If you're not going to be out there playing, winning games, they're not going to be paying you that kind of money. But that's the kind of money Colin Kaepernick wants. And so no one's going to give him that kind of money. Well, yeah, like Teja says, some of these backups are coaches in training. They're going to be quarterback coaches, offensive coordinators, or maybe they'll become announcers like Tony Romo did. Tony Romo is great to watch as an announcer because he's like, all right, the offense set up, they're going to have this guy go here, have this move there, and then he's going to throw the ball there. And that's exactly what happens. It's like, I'm sure part of it is being able to see from the top-down field, going, oh, that's how the offense is going to move, that's how the defense is going to move. Because obviously when you're on the field, you got to look over your offensive lineman like, oh, I think that's a defensive player moving over there. He might be going in for the sack. I should probably call something different. But when you get the top view that the announcers do, they're going for a sack. The quarterback better call the fullback over out of that position and to help protect him better. God, I love football. But yeah, Dolphins, Texans. Texans win. Dolphins, obviously, any given Sunday, or in this case, Thursday. Dolphins could theoretically win, but every week, Deshaun Watson gets better. As long as there aren't any major injuries on offense or defense, Texans win. Now, let's see. We got early games on Sunday. Oh, 9:30 a.m. That must be in London. Eagles, Jags. Both these teams are 3-4. Eagles win it. The Jaguars defense, for some reason, hasn't played like the defense. Jaguars have Blake Bortles or Cody Kessler. Neither of them are quarterbacks going to win you a game. In fact, Blake Bortles will make sure to lose you the game. He'll make sure to go, wow, my player's wide open. I'm going to throw it to the defensive player instead. So yeah, Eagles win that one. Man, 9:30 in the morning. I don't know if I'm going to be up that early. Wait, is that going to be... Oh, that's NFL Network only anyways. I'd have to be at my friend's house. I'm not going to be there that early. It's actually at Texans. Yeah, I know they get the crowd noise in there. It can affect the game, but they're in Texans Stadium. Houston. Then we got Ravens, Panthers. One's 4-3, the other one's 4-2 because they had a bye week. The Ravens' defense and their offense, they're both 7 out of 10s this year. Well, actually, the Jags might actually have a step up on this. Because, yeah, Blake Bortles sucks. But they're used to going to London. Like, the Jaguars, they're used to going to London. Like, they play a game there every year. So they know, like, all right, we need to fly out on this day. We need to practice on this time. So that way we're ready to play at that time. Which the Eagles might not be ready for. So even with a better offense and not as good of a defense, but on par defense, the Jaguars might have a shot at winning it. But yeah, I was going to go with Panthers win. Like, yeah, the Ravens defense is a 7 out of 10. Ravens, the offense, 7 out of 10. But the Panthers' offense, 8 out of 10. I don't know if their defense is better, but it's on par. It's a 7 out of 10. Maybe 7.1 if you want to do points. And Cam Newton is a more electric of a quarterback than Joey Flacco is. And unlike Joey Flacco, he doesn't have a huge fucking contract. So they still have money to pay for the O-line. So he has an O-line to actually protect him when he's not running, which gets him hurt. Then we have Jets, Bears, at Bears. I'm going to have to go with the Bears. The Jets, I mean, the 3-4 with a rookie quarterback, not bad. But the Bears had the better offense and they had the better defense. Being better on both sides. Mitch Trubisky, he's done some trick plays out there. He has the talent around him that they can do trick plays that keep all the teams off balance and all that. And of course, you got Khalil Mack in the backfield before the ball is. Second the quarterback, so definitely he gets the win. There we go. Had to mute. Ooh, Bucks, Bungles. The Bungles are 4-3. The Buccaneers are 3-3. Jameis Winston is coming back from a suspension, so he's actually going to be a little bit fresher than most quarterbacks. Wow, you really hate the ACC, don't you? But the Buccaneers took a last-second field goal in overtime to beat the Browns. The Bungles are coming off a humiliating loss. They weren't loving the Bucks. They were loving Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then they lost against the Steelers, but he still put up over 400 yards. Then they faced the Bears defense. They faced Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack was in the backfield before the ball was, so Ryan Fitzpatrick kept getting hit. So at the half, they put Jameis Winston out there because Jameis Winston is more of a running quarterback. He'll be able to go, oh, there's Khalil Mack, and run away from him better than Ryan Fitzpatrick could. If they had faced the Bears like 3 weeks later, I would have no doubt that Ryan Fitzpatrick would still be out there putting up 400 yards a game. So, ooh, Bungles, Buccaneers. It's at Bungles. The Buccaneers just took a last-second field goal to beat the Browns. The Bungles came off a humiliating loss against the Chiefs. They still have A.J. Green. Joe Mixon came back from his injury. The Tyler Boyd's been pretty good. Oh, fuck. I think I'll go with the Bungles just because they're the home team. And after the humiliating loss, you know that coach is going to be on their ass. You know that coach is going to be whipping them into shape. You know that coach is going to be there with a taser going, all right, every time you drop the ball, I tase your ass. Make sure you don't drop the ball. Ooh, so yeah, I think the Bungles win. Could always be wrong again any given Sunday. Ooh, Seahawks, Lions at Lions. The Seahawks have had an interesting season this year. They've won, obviously, well, they're 3-3, so they're at 500. It's just, then again, sort of fucking Lions. Both of these teams have had a season of, you're supposed to lose to this team, you win. You're supposed to beat this team, you lose. The Lions, I think, right now have the better run game. And without the Legion of Boom, especially with Earl Thomas getting hurt, how are you going to stop the Lions' passing offense? The Lions have been 9 times out of 10 pass, 1 times out of 10 run. Now they actually have a run game going, they're going to be more 7 pass, 3 run, which means the defense has to look out for the run, so they can't just have 8 men in the backfield. I think I'm going to have to agree with them. I think I'm going to have to go with the Lions. Again, any given Sunday, but the Seahawks they don't have the Legion of Boom anymore. Earl Thomas was the last of them, and he got hurt. So they can't defend against the pass, and that's what Lions still rely heavily on, even with their running game getting off the ground. So yeah, we'll go with Lions. Next, Broncos and the winners. Broncos and the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs lost to the Patriots, but they're the Patriots. It's hard to beat those fuckers once they get going. The Broncos, like what was it? The Rams. Their defense kept the Rams under good containment for the most part. That defense, if they can play like that again, might keep the Chiefs under 30 points, but their offense won't score 20, so Chiefs are still going to win. Well, yeah, there's always teams like Peyton Manning. We're 12-0. Oh, we're going to be going to San Diego? Now we're 12-1. There's just some teams out there that they're the kryptonite to the other team. For some reason, the Chargers always had Peyton Manning's number. It was weird. We're going to be 16-0. Oh, crap, we played the Chargers. We're going to go 15-1. So, all right, so you take the Broncos. I'll be still taking the Chiefs. Although injury could always change on the rivalry. And that Broncos defense is still a good defense, and defense still wins a lot of games. But the NFL keeps changing the rules to make it more offense-oriented. So, yeah, you never know. Ooh, speaking of rivalries, Redskins, Giants, NFC East. They'll be playing at the Giants. Ooh. Yeah, like Tom Brady always loses to Miami in Miami. Miami could go 2-14, but one of those wins is going to be against Tom Brady for some reason. It's just weird how that goes. So, Redskins, Giants. Chris Thompson, I think, is still hurt. So they're still relying on Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson, even at his age, has done pretty damn good for himself. The Giants have Saquon Barkley. And, they got Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. And they got Saquon Barkley, can't forget him. Odell Beckham Jr. Saquon Barkley. Yeah, that's all they got. So, you know what? Having one running back and one quarterback that can't throw the ball to the only wide receiver they got, I'm going to say the Redskins win this one. I don't like the Redskins. Obviously I like Adrian Peterson, former Viking. And I like Alex Smith because, hi, I'm Alex Smith. I got us to the NFC Championship game 3 years in a row. Yeah, we're going to trade it to the Chiefs for a 6th-round draft pick. Hi, I went to the 2-14 Chiefs. I got them to the playoffs every single year. Yeah, we're going to trade you off to the Redskins. We don't need you. Which, hey, Patrick Mahomes proved that they didn't need him. So I want him to go out there with the Redskins and win. I want him to go to the playoffs with the Redskins. I think that'd be hilarious if they did that. So for him to go, I've been to the playoffs with 3 different teams. I got in 3 different teams to the playoffs, and I still can't get any respect. So yeah, I think it's going to be the Redskins on that one. The losers versus the Steelers. I mean, the Browns, the Browns always play the Steelers really tough. But Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell. I'm sorry, Browns, but you're going to suffer another loss. You might get another win sometime this year and finish, 3-12-1, but, yeah, you're the Browns for a reason. Give them a couple more years with this general manager guy that actually watches football and likes football. They might be able to go out there and do something. Ooh, 2 spectacular teams. The Colts, 2-5. Raiders, 1-5. God damn, what the fuck's going on with my Twitter? My Twitter's blowing up for some reason. Just keep swiping away the things. Yeah, I mean, if they lose Ben Roethlisberger, their backup quarterback is garbage. But if they lose Le'Veon Bell to injury, that James Cook guy, or James Conner, whatever his name was, did pretty damn good. Although I still say part of that was them giving him the ball as much as possible, just so they can say, see, Le'Veon Bell, we don't need you. This guy's doing what you do. But he did it. Well, that was a great 3-yard run. Le'Veon Bell would have gotten 5. Well, there's a great catch to the outside for 6 yards. Le'Veon Bell would have spun to the inside and taken off for another 32 yards for the touchdown. I don't think they're all getting fired, but they're going to be on the hot seat. Like, all right, you lost to the Browns. You better make it to the playoffs or you're fired. But if you lose to the Browns, how the fuck do you go to the playoffs? So, yeah, I still have to put the money down on the Steelers. But yeah, like I said, Colts, Raiders, 2 should take their teams. Andrew Luck coming back after, 2 years without ever throwing the ball. He's not like Deshaun. Like Deshaun Watson, he gets better every single week that he's out there. But Andrew Luck is not doing that. Andrew Luck is going out there as a 7 out of 10 and remaining a 7 out of 10. While Deshaun Watson went out there as a 5 out of 10. A couple weeks later, he's a 6 out of 10. A couple weeks later, he's a 7 out of 10. Next week, he's an 8 out of 10. Andrew Luck has stayed a 7 out of 10. Their run game is atrocious. They have no defense. But the Raiders have no defense. They have no offense. They have no special teams. Hey, Bully Hunter. You're right. American football is very happy. Makes a lot of people happy anyways. Terrible. Poor Josh Rosen. It's just... Goddamn, that's a tough call. That's like a flipping the coin and slapping and going, nah, you're still wrong. It's at Raiders, but the Raiders just traded away Amari Cooper. They don't have Khalil Mack. Yeah, but we got 5 first-round draft picks over the next 2 years. You know, Khalil Mack's Khalil Mack, but a first-round draft pick could be anything. It could be a Khalil Mack. It could be an Amari Cooper. Dumbasses. Well, that's one of the issues that a lot of these players, like, the reason they're holding out is like, you know, I get the big contract now. 3 years later, if I get hurt or something, I still made a lot of money. Or like Calvin Johnson retired early because what's the point? What's the point of being crippled for the rest of my life, unable to walk? Without me, they're going to go 4-12. Yeah, but with me out there, they're going to go 7-9. And it's like, that's why Le'Veon Bell is holding out. That's why a lot of the Legion of Boom are holding out. And then Earl Thomas gets hurt. It's like, see, this is why we hold out. This is why we want the big contracts, the guaranteed money. So when we do something like break our leg, we're not penniless. Ooh, 2 teams are 1-6. 2 teams from the NFC West. 49ers, Cardinals. Ah, shit. God damn. 49ers at the Cardinals. Both teams suck. I think the Cardinals gave up on Sam Bradford a little too soon. They should have... Alright, yeah, he got hurt, so I had the rookie go out there for a game. And be like, alright, well, he was out there for a game. He got game experience. Sam Bradford's back from the concussion. Put him back out there. Because he's the veteran. He's know what he's doing. And have the rookie learn from him. But then CJB, he's just not a good quarterback. I think part of the 49ers, like, when Jimmy G got hurt, they all went, well, there goes our season. We don't feel like playing anymore. Well, Jimmy G's not playing, though. He hasn't played all year because he got fucking hurt. Or he played the first game, lost, then during the second game got hurt, but... Don't get me wrong, if Jimmy G was still out there, they'd probably be 4-2, 5-1 right now. Yeah, because they did play against the Rams, so the Rams would have given them a run for the money, so they'd probably be 4-2 right now. I think ACL tear or MCL tear, something like that, one of those tears. But you may also have that from the porn star that he banged. Which, hey, I'm not going to knock him for that. Good for him. Fuck. Ooh, and also you got Patrick Peterson out there, so the 49ers, they don't have a good quarterback. Throwing against Patrick Peterson. All right, I'm going to go with the Cardinals, but it could be an overtime game, last second field goal. Next, Packers versus the Rams. Again, the Packers are better than their record. The Packers are better than their record, but Aaron Rodgers got paid too much money. Aaron Rodgers now spends more time on his back staring up at the sky than he does on his feet. Because he's always getting tackled. He's always getting sacked. He's always getting hit. So even when he does get the ball off, he's getting the ball out of his hand as he's getting tackled. He's still getting hit. He's still going to get hurt. DeShone Kizer could be a good quarterback. We don't know because the only time he's been out there was against Khalil Mack, and they had to move entirely to shotgun only because when he was under center, Khalil Mack is in the backfield, hitting him every single time. It was at Packers Stadium. I would agree with you that it would be an upset pick. The Packers could win. But I think the Rams defense is going to be good enough to keep Aaron Rodgers on his back more than on his feet. The Greatest Show on Turf 2. Hey, it's Hollywood. They love sequels. It's still going to go out there, and the Packers defense is not that good. Again, if they're at Green Bay, I might agree with you that the Packers could win it, but Rams steamroll. Now, the Sunday night game. Saints, Vikings. Yeah, the Packers do get a lot of calls their way, don't they? I'm sure it's just a coincidence, though. It's just a coincidence that plays just happen to go their way. Or calls just happen to go their way. But now Saints, Vikings. At Vikings. I think that's going to be the important thing. Yes, Saints has got Eli Apple. But there's a reason why the Giants were willing to trade him away. There's a reason why the Giants went, we play against a lot of passing quarterbacks. Yeah, we don't need this corner, do we? Nah. Ted Ginn Jr. is out. He's out with injury. But they still have Alvin Kamara. They still have Drew Brees. They still have a hell of an offense. Again, Everson Griffin, if he's able to come back, will be able to put pressure on Drew Brees. But after being out for several weeks, he may not even be back this week. Oh. As much as I would love to say my Vikings got this, I mean, it is at Viking Stadium. And I even have $10 on the game. But I'm kind of cheating here a little. Let's say in fantasy this player puts up 26 plus points a game. So I get him in a trade. I put him out there. 3 points. He'll average 3 points for the rest of the season because I got him. So I benched all of my Vikings players and put out all my Saints players. Because my thinking is, the Fates will have to choose. Do we A, let him win fantasy by having the Saints players go out there and just put up 50 plus points each? Or do we have them lose? Which means the Vikings win, but he loses fantasy football. So you know what? That's going to be my coin flip here. Is the fact that I've benched all my Vikings players, have a bunch of Saints players out there on several teams. So they're going to go out there, they're going to get 3 points apiece. While the Vikings players sitting on the bench will get 30 plus points. Vikings win. Because I benched all the Vikings players and put all the Saints players out there. How can you go wrong with Stephon Diggs? Although, Stephon Diggs gets their top corner. He gets their top safety. He gets double covered, which is why Adam Thielen's having such a hell of a season, because, oh, look at that. There's 5 guys dogpiling on top of Stephon Diggs. I'm open. Catch. The same thing that happened to Randy Moss when he went to the Patriots of, yeah, he's got, no, not even 1,000 yards, not even 10 touchdowns, but I got 1,500 yards. I got 22 touchdowns. Oh, so does that guy. So does that guy. Everyone had Hall of Fame careers that year. And then the Monday night game. Patriots, Bills. Bills will either have Nathan Peterman or Derek Anderson out there. AKA, they're not going to have a quarterback out there at all. Patriots are going to have Tom Brady. This could very well be a game where they bench Tom Brady in the second half just because, all right, it's 37-3. I think we can bench our starters. Let's throw the backup out there, see how he does. So yeah, it's going to be the Patriots. But this could be a trap game. It was a trap game for the Vikings of, it's the Bills. We're going to go out there and lose 27-9. Fuck. Or 29-7, whatever it was. Actually, you know what? I'm going to agree with you on that. Patriots win by 30 or more. It's not going to be good for the Bills. The Bills, because of injury, because of trades, because of coaching, because of all that, they just made terrible decisions during the offseason, I swear. We finally make it to the playoffs for the first time in the 21st century. Let's trade away every single player that was on that team. Why? Why would you trade away every single player on your team? How do you think you can get it back to the... It's like, yeah, but we got a bunch of 4th, 5th, and 6th round draft picks, dude. Great. You get a bunch of guys from colleges no one's ever heard of. Good job. Just terrible by then the... Oh, well, Tyrod Taylor went to the Browns. Yeah, and he got hurt. So then, what's-his-face went out there. Baker Mayfield went out there. And Baker Mayfield played pretty damn well. But remember, Tyrod Taylor tied the Steelers. Tyrod Taylor almost beat the Saints, except for the kicker left 8 points on the field. If the kicker didn't miss 8 points, they would have beaten the Saints. If the kicker didn't miss all those kicks on the Steelers, they would have won. They would have gone 2-0 with Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor did not lose those games. The kicker lost those games. If they had a better kicker, they would have... Hell, if they had a better kicker, they'd probably be 3-2 right now, or 3-3, whatever. They would have beat the Buccaneers. So they'd have at least... Hell, they already had 2 wins. So they beat the Saints, beat the Steelers instead of tying, beat the Buccaneers. They could be 5-1 right now. If they had a competent kicker, they would be 5-1 right now. And they'd probably still have Tyrod Taylor out there. If they had won those first 2 games, all right, oh no, Tyrod Taylor has a concussion. There's Baker Mayfield out there. All right, we got our 3rd win of the year. All right, Tyrod Taylor's back. We go out there and we keep winning. But he got hurt. And because of the fucking kicker... Ask the Vikings about kickers. We would have beaten the Packers if we had a competent kicker at the time. Dan Bailey was a free agent. We could have picked him up at the beginning of the year, had him during the preseason, had him get worked out with us. We could have beaten the Packers. We could have been 2-0 and then 2-1 after we lose to the Bills. But we could have had a better record right now. No, I like it. If wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. Yeah, the Browns had a better kicker. They'd be 5-1 right now. If the Vikings had a kicker, they'd have an extra win. If Khalil Mack had been traded, the Raiders would probably be 3-3 right now. And the Bears would still be in the basement. That trade for Khalil Mack was one of the best moves the Bears made this year. Like, that move was perfect for the Bears because they had the cap space because they don't pay the quarterback $135 million. The top paid quarterback of the year has never won a Super Bowl. Ever. That's because, hey, I got all the money. Who am I throwing to? No one. We don't have enough money to pay wide receivers. Well, who am I handing the ball off to? No one. We don't have enough money for running backs. Well, who's protecting me? No one. We don't have the money for an O-line. So yes, for that one player, it's nice to, get all that money. But then there's no money for anyone else. Joey Flacco. I went to the Super Bowl. I won a Super Bowl. We made it to the playoffs, I think, twice since then. Didn't win, of course, but we made it. Because they just gave away too much fucking money. It's like John Gruden is like, who's our best defensive player? Trade him. Who's the best defensive player? Trade him. Why? It's just John Gruden. I don't know if he was paid off by the Chiefs or the Chargers or the Broncos. Like, hey, we don't want to. Like, the Raiders are actually getting pretty good. They're getting into the playoffs. Next year, they might actually win a playoff game. So, here's some money. John Gruden, destroy that team for us. What it looks like to me, that the other teams in the AFC West paid off John Gruden to destroy that team. Now it's like, all right, well, what's going to happen next year? What? Obviously, the Jaguars have to get a quarterback. Well, he has plenty of first-round draft picks to use. What was the Patriots? They traded away their first-round draft pick a couple years ago for a wide receiver. Why? Sure, you can draft a wide receiver with the first-round draft pick and hope he's good. Or you can go, that guy already plays in the NFL. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He knows how to run routes at a pro level. Yeah, sure, we'll give up our first-round draft pick for him. Yeah, that too, they're going to Vegas, but how pissed off do you think Vegas has to be? We're going to get the playoff team Raiders. No, you're getting the 2-14 Raiders. But they just went to the playoffs. Yes, and then John Gruden came in and made them 2-14. If they can beat the Colts, maybe they can get to 3-13, but 2-14 is going to be the best bet at this point. Just stupid moves. It's like with the Browns. The Browns made horrible moves for years because they're trying to play Moneyball from baseball. Guess what? That didn't work. This is the first year they actually have a guy who watches football, likes football, is making football moves. Look at that. They got 2 wins. Would have been 5 wins if they didn't have a shit-tacular kicker. You give them a couple years, they might actually be 8-8. Give them a few more years, they might be double-digit wins. Within the next 6 years, they should have at least one season with double-digit wins. As long as there's no major injuries and they don't get rid of the guy who actually likes football. If they try to go back to the money football, or the money ball that they're playing before, they're going to keep sucking. But as long as they avoid doing that, they should be good. As long as they avoid doing the stupidest shit moves possible, like the Raiders are doing right now, they should be good. They're never going to be a threat to the Steelers until Big Ben and all them retire. But what I don't get is, all right, Vegas wanted a team. LA wanted 2 teams. Toronto wants a team. Oklahoma City wants a team. There's 5 teams right there. You could have left the St. Louis Rams. You could have kept the LA Chargers. You could have kept the Oakland Raiders. You had those 5 teams. Then you need 3 more somewhere else in the country or wherever to make. Because the NFL, we want to expand the playoffs. We want an 18 regular game season. Well, there you go. You get 8 extra teams. Now you need 2 extra games. So now you need an 18-game season. Oh, no, you can expand the playoffs like you keep saying you want to do. Cut off 2 games from the preseason. Add on 2 to the regular season. Maybe expand the roster from 53 to 55. Up the cap space by 20 million so you can get a couple extra players on there. That would be huge, especially for the college players. You get an extra 8 teams out there. And at 55 instead of 53 slots per team. That is hundreds of college kids going to the pros. That is hundreds of college kids who, nah, he plays for this small-time school. We're not going to draft him. Holy shit, he just put up a 320-plus yards a game average this season. Holy shit, he actually knows how to play. He never would have had a chance to play if we didn't have these extra teams. But we have the extra teams. He got to start for one of these teams. Holy shit, he's actually really fucking good. There could be a lot of these college kids that don't get a shot in the pros because there's just not enough openings, not enough teams. The NFL bitches, they want teams here, they want teams there. They want to expand the regular season, they want to expand the playoffs. Well, then make 8 new teams. But exactly. A lot of these Hall of Famers, they didn't play for anyone. They didn't play for the big schools. They didn't play for Alabama or LSU or the freaking Trojans. Like, they didn't play for them. They play for smaller schools. All right, why no new teams? Again, Toronto wants a team. Oklahoma City wants a team. Oakland might want a team back and all that once the Raiders move. Not Chargers, but San Diego could want a team back. St. Louis get a team back. And it's like, all right, well, especially if Oklahoma City on the AFC South. So you have Oklahoma versus Houston twice a year. That's going to draw in ratings. That's going to be a huge rivalry. That's going to make bank. And then you get the new San Diego team in the AFC West. Every time they play against the Chargers, that's going to be bringing in a lot of money. But one argument against it, yeah. Well, multi-million-dollar contracts, yeah. The one issue with this is talent. They're already struggling to put out 32 competent quarterbacks. Blake Bortles. They're already struggling to put out 32 competent defenses. They're already struggling to find 32 competent head coaches. John Gruden. So now you expand it to 40 teams. They got to try to find 40 competent quarterbacks. They got to try to find 40 competent coaches. They got to try to find 40 competent kickers. That's I just brought that up. Like, you're already having teams that can't find a fucking kicker to save their life. So you expand it up to 40 teams. All of a sudden, it's like, well, we already can't fill the kicker slots. Now we got to fill 8 more. More extra points missed. More field goals missed. But on the other side of that coin is you're giving more people shots. What if this kicker's a really good kicker? He didn't get taken up by any teams because he was from a small school. Or he was never given that much of a chance in the college era. Like, yeah, he's a freshman, we got a junior. Oh, he's a sophomore, this guy's now a senior. Oh, he's a junior now, he's going to go out there and kick. And we needed like 6 field goals the whole season. We just scored touchdowns every game. We never needed to go for the extra long field goal, so he never got noticed. But it turns out he's really accurate. And again, with the quarterbacks, like, yeah, you can't find 32 competent quarterbacks now, which makes you think you can find 40. Well, maybe there's 6, 7, 8 competent quarterbacks who will never play in the pros because they weren't given a chance. Tom Brady was given a chance. He was picked in the 6th round. Could you imagine if Tom Brady wasn't given a chance? Can you imagine if Tom Brady, no one's going to draft him. No one picks him up. We don't have the Patriots that we know today. Yeah, it's just too many prejudice going out there. What was it? The Buccaneers-Raiders Super Bowl, I think it was the first time 2 black head coaches faced off in the Super Bowl. So there could be a lot of competent black coaches out there that are never given a shot. You get 8 more teams, maybe get more black coaches out there. Maybe you get more black quarterbacks out there. Maybe get more white running backs. Maybe get more Hispanic wide receivers out there. Like, you look at certain positions and you see... What was Bears Colts? Alright. Oh yeah, Tony Dungy. Alright. And I knew something like that. It was the first time that they had 2 black head coaches face off each other against Super Bowls. Like, this NFL's been going on for decades, and that was really the first time. So who knows? There could be an assistant coach playing on a college team that could be... He could be an incredible head coach. He'll never get a chance. So yes. So there's obviously arguments to both sides. You already can't find enough coaches, quarterbacks, kickers, so forth. But it could be a case of coaches, kickers, quarterbacks never given a shot because they're from a small school. They're overshadowed by another player. They come from a bigger school. They just maybe 2, 3 bad games. Like they were great for 8 games, and then these 2 games they were bad, and so they just don't get drafted. So yeah, I guess just if the NFL is serious about expanding the regular season, expanding the playoffs, getting teams to Toronto, to Oklahoma City, so forth, new teams. Yeah, there's personal issues like the guy that eventually got drafted by the Dolphins, but he was supposed to be like Tunzel, I think his name was supposed to be like first or second pick of the draft. Then right before the draft started, his asshole stepfather released a video of him smoking a bong or something, and so he drafted a second round. It's like, wow, good job. You just cost your stepson $15 million, maybe even 20 with that stupid fucking video. Well, he shouldn't have smoked pot. He's a fucking college kid. He's gonna do that. Well, like I said, Toronto wants a team. Toronto for a while was actually sharing the Bills. Like 2 home games were actually held in Toronto, but then the Bills stopped doing that. But well, that's why they're playing in London. They get a few games in London every year. They got a game in Mexico City every year. They were playing a couple games in Toronto. But like Toronto wants a team. Toronto could actually probably hold one. Then maybe you can find a Western Canadian team. I don't know any of the cities in the West. But you get a city in the West in Canada, a city in the East like Toronto. So there's 2 teams. And if you want St. Louis, Oakland, San Diego, Oklahoma City. Well, there's 6 there. Now you got 6 teams. Well, yeah, because like a basketball court doesn't need to be that big. Soccer court, field, whatever, doesn't need to be that big because you're going to get maybe 10,000 people watching. They go Vancouver. It's like, all right, well, we need to build a new soccer stadium. We need 10,000 seats max. It's soccer in America. No one's going to watch. But a football stadium, we're going to need 90,000, 100,000, 110,000 seats. We're going to need the parking facilities for 110,000 people. We're going to need the plot for the football field, the equipment rooms, the training centers. Like, a football stadium takes up a whole lot of space. Basketball court, a lot smaller. Baseball field. Baseball used to be America's top sport, and now it's like 3rd, I think, in views. And it's one of their issues is, wow, we lost only 161 more games to go. Like, people aren't going out to the games anymore because what's the point? If we win or lose, there's 161 games to go. And I think they were talking about adding more games to basketball, but everyone's like, no. You're already having an issue of there's too many games. Oh no, they lost this game, only 83 more to go. Which could be an issue with football. Like, if they keep, we want 18 games and expand the playoffs. Doubt it's anywhere near as hot as it is in Las Vegas in the summer. Yeah, you could definitely get Toronto, because they want one. Oklahoma City, they definitely want one in the AFC South. And if the San Diego wants a new one, if Oakland wants another one, if St. Louis wants another one, you go with Vancouver. They just need 2 more. Little Rock, Arkansas, maybe. Or, what would be a good city? Oh, I know. Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine has, I think, 250,000 people. Let me look it up real quick. Oh, yeah. That's the other issue with expanding the amount of games played. It's like you're already getting these people hurt. You expand the game to 2 more regular seasons games. That's going to be 2 more games that they're going to get hurt in. Population of Portland, Maine.
The population population of Portland was 66,880 in 2017.
What? No. Well, I was probably thinking of Portland, Oregon. Never mind. I know. 1 second. Population of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
The population of Green Bay was 105,100 in 2017.
So not even 40,000 more, and they had the Green Bay Packers. Hey, Charleston Panther. Sorry, so maybe Portland, Maine wouldn't be a big enough city to host a team. So maybe have it a little bit west of them. Kind of like the New York Giants and the New York Jets don't play in New York. They play in New Jersey. So maybe have them a little bit outside, like between them and... There you go, have it between Portland and Augusta. Well, what was this? Someone was discussing with the internet. Obviously, they got like the NFL Sunday ticket either with Dish TV, satellite, or you can pay for the NFL ticket package over the internet. So you can watch your team no matter where they play, wherever you are. But one thing, like they were doing for other sports and discussing for sports, was 360 cameras placed around the stadiums. If you have a VR headset, put on a VR headset, pay, the $9.99, $10.99, whatever they want to charge for it. Hey, look at that. I'm at the 50-yard line. I'll know the ball's further down the field. Click, go to this camera. Click, go to that camera. Click, go to the overhead camera. Click, go to this camera. And well, the only reason the sports leagues are all in trouble is because they keep paying more for the players, more for the stadiums, more to the owners and other stuff like that. But this is an 80,000 seat stadium. We filled an 80,000 seat stadium. Yay! 3 years later. Well, our costs have gone up $20 million, but we're still only filling an 80,000 seat stadium. If we raise the prices too high, we're not going to fill that stadium. Meaning, oh hey, we made $10 more a ticket, but we only sold 60,000 tickets. So we lower the price back down $10, we'll fill all 80,000 seats. But we're still going to have that extra $20 million that we had from 4 years ago. Oh, 4 more years later, now our expenses are up $30 million more than it was 8 years ago. But we're still only filling an 80,000 seat stadium. And so, the costs keep going up, but you can only make so much money. Which is why I think they really need to start looking at doing, 360 cameras or just setting up the cameras and having them in places for not just for football, but for baseball, basketball, racing, whatever you want to do. Is all right, you want to watch it from the stands without actually having to go there? All right, we have cameras set up that you can watch from those cameras from home. You just pay this much money. So that way, it's yeah, we sold out all 80,000 seats. Then we also sold an extra 110,000 viewers. Even at only $10 a person, 110,000 people times 10, that's $1.1 million actually made for 8 games of your football. And if you watch, did Yahoo air the, I don't think Yahoo does air some games, but I don't think they air the Super Bowl. Also, they still have commercials on those, I'm pretty sure. Yahoo airing football. No, not airing. Yahoo airing football. Watch NFL Live on Yahoo Sports on your smartphone or tablet. What games are available to stream? National preseason, live, local, and primetime. Super Bowl 53. Huh. But I'm pretty sure they also aired them. According to DSP, his weight is 205. Which, being all fat, it could be, but... Oh, no. This is football, guys. They did rank up. They actually made it to the power rankings, where before they were on the bounce, like being able to bounce back list. They actually made it onto the power rankings this year. Well, this week anyways. But yeah, this will be about the end of it because I've discussed all the power rankings. I've discussed the RIP, teams that can bounce back, went over all the games, made my picks, talked about how the NFL wants to expand. Yes, BS on his weight. I'm sorry, Thyri, but it's the Saints. Like, my Vikings had to go up against them next week, and now they got Eli Apple. Eli Apple may not be a 10 out of 10 player, but he's going to be an improvement for them. It's like, why couldn't you have waited until after you played the Vikings to get this guy? Poor Ravens. But hey, at least the Ravens won't finish 4th. They still got the Browns there. That's always been my pleasure of being an NFC North Vikings fan. It's like, yeah, we might have a bad year, but we're still going to do better than the Lions. So, you know what? I think this is going to be it for this. This is my first ever live power rankings. Will I do it again next week? Maybe, maybe not. I did like doing this just because, honestly, I got live talk with you. I don't know. I mean, they did lose to the Browns, so I don't know how they're going to beat Pittsburgh. But Steelers are one injury away from being worse than the Browns, so who knows? So, I guess this is it, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, let me know. I might do it again next week if people say this was a nice change up to the way I was doing it before. If not, I mean, because normally my power rankings are like, what, 20 minutes long? Where are you on, what'd you call it? Twitter. Because that's actually why I decided to try this, because you're like always saying like, oh yeah, I'll get a hold of you on Twitter, and then you never do. It's like, well, fuck, I'm going to do it anyways. Try it out. So anyways, yeah, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a wonderful day.